boots than no cleats.
JaMarr Chase is the best player in college football. If he's not, Derek Stingley Jr. is, and those guys have been battling each other for the last year on the practice field. Before that, in high school, we got a good story from Derek Stingley Sr. earlier this week in his regular Tuesday visit, and we always appreciate our time when we catch up with one of our favorites, Jimmy Chase, who is back with us here on ESPN New Orleans, Alexandria. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, fellas. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good to have you back. Off-season has been crazy, obviously, with everything that's going on with COVID and with our world. How has your son managed the off-season between year 2 and 3?
It's been like a roller coaster, really. Up and down. He's trying to work out and stay in shape, but he's had a little too much downtime, so he's a little antsy right now.
Yeah. Ogeron told me a great story earlier this week. He said that he saw JaMarr Chase walking down the halls last week, and Chase said, "Coach, I don't want my name outside the stadium," talking about being recognized on the championship teams, and he'll have the Bolitnikoff Award recognition on the outside of the Tiger Stadium locker room. He told he wants his name inside the stadium alongside guys like Casanova, Stovall, Burrow will be up there, and Cannon. And Ogeron said, "Go win the Bolitnikoff again," and Chase said he's going to. How motivated is he for another season of college football?
Oh, he's really fired up for that. I mean, he's locked in, and that Bolitnikoff Award just lit a fire on him, because he he has to do more, and more is expected of him, and he's going to be under the spotlight. So he's just ready to accept the challenge and take on whatever comes down the pipe.
Jimmy, earlier this year during the pandemic, or whatever, the Last Dance documentary came out, right? And we got this look into kind of the mindset of Michael Jordan and just how crazy competitive he is, and a lot of these alpha type of athletes, those are the type of guys that they are. I don't know if you watch it, but do you get that same sort of feeling from your son?
I definitely do. It's like, don't tell him what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't tell him what he can do, and don't make him mad. And, everybody seen that video, and they thought it was a joke. They thought I was playing, but I was serious. You don't want to make JaMarr mad. If he gets mad, all hell is going to break loose, So, no, he's just like that.
And where does that come from? Is that something that you instilled in him? Has he always been like that? Where's it from?
No, I think it might be a little family trait that we have. I think he just has it under control a little better. Usually what I used to do when JaMarr played basketball at a younger age, I used to kind of rough him up before the game. And he would get mad, and he'd go take it out on the other team. So
it's so funny, dude. My dad used to do the same thing. He would make me cry, and then he'd be like, "Now go pretend the guy across from you is me." It's like the old water boy thing, and it worked. It worked. You just get fired up and go out there. Jimmy, I know you addressed it on 247 the other day, but just so our listeners can hear it, with this season so much up in the air, what are JaMarr's plans currently?
Well, so far, his plans are, to go along with the team right now. But as you know, this thing is fluid.
Yeah.
And it's a real roller coaster. So, when I was telling the guy on 24/7, JaMarr plans on playing football this year, right? But who knows what's going to happen? Who knows what can happen? This thing is like a real roller coaster, and that was really my opinion. Like I said, I never got a chance to talk with JaMarr about that yet, but man, this thing is day to day. Especially for us on our end. One day everything is all good, and then the next day it's like, oh boy.
Does he answer that question everywhere he goes? Do people ask him that everywhere he goes?
No, he tries to avoid the question, really. But they ask him everywhere he goes.
Stingley Sr. was here earlier this week talking about the battles your son and his son have gone back and forth on the practice field. They have become almost like folklore, like myths from coaches, teammates, and even guys like us, the media, who go out there and watch it. From your point of view, can you tell me some of the battles that you've seen between JaMarr and Derek Stingley Jr. over the past couple of seasons and what they've meant for JaMarr's development?
They've been like you said, they've been epic, right? Okay, it's like these guys had never ran into much resistance before, and when they ran into each other, they ran into like the same type of resistance, and you could see it. Well, I know my son, right, and you could see it. It's like he got a little frustrated, he got a little mad at the same time. I told you don't want to make him mad, right?
Right.
And then he just take it to another level. Right, so like that happened last year. So this year, like in the first 3 days of practice, I think it was the first day of practice, they went at it again. So I'm like, okay, well that was last year. It can't be, they ain't gonna do that again this year, And first play, JaMarr went out for a pass, and he had Stingley beat. Stingley made up the route, made up on the play. He hit JaMarr's hand as he was catching the ball. JaMarr bobbled the ball. JaMarr went to catch the ball with one hand. Stingley reached out and hit the ball again with the other hand. They fell to the ground. The ball was still falling in the air. JaMarr still trying to catch the ball. Stingley still swinging at the ball on the ground,
I love it.
I'm like, man,
That's so
these
cool.
guys just don't quit, but they're ultra competitive, and they definitely bring out the best in each other.
How has the chemistry been between Miles and JaMarr, Miles Brennan and JaMarr this summer in trying to get some work together when it's been so quirky, when it's been so out of whack?
Well, JaMarr said they clicking. He said him and Miles is finally like on the same page and like they like understanding each other. So, he's feeling good about their little relationship and their camaraderie. Their development.
What about the rest of that wide receiver room? Has JaMarr talked to you at all about being the Blitnikoff winner and then being in a room with so much young talent? Does he feel like a leader going into this year?
Yeah. He mentioned that I think after the spring or earlier over the summer, sometime he mentioned that to me that he has to get these guys ready and he has to help them like develop. He got to show them the right way to do it, and just keep them in line or keep them up to the standard that they're used to performing. Terrence and Racy already know the standard. So the new guys coming in, I guess you have to show them because it's like JaMarr and Terrence and Justin, they made it look so easy last year, so everybody figured they could do it. But there's a lot of work goes into that, and I guess he had to show them the work that he got to do in order to keep that consistency going.
Yeah, I mean, the summer of 10,000 catches, all that stuff that they did last year that just paid such huge dividends. And we're talking to Jimmy Chase here, father of JaMarr Chase here on Off the Bench. I know that it's tough because of how incredible last year was, but are there any areas that he's expressed to you that he feels like he can improve? Like when he views himself where he can try to get even better?
No, I mean, like I said before, I think I told you guys one time before, he was working on the little things like hand placement or not letting DBs get their hands on them, stuff like that, little things like that, trying to avoid contact and just making sure he's coming off the line clean, just small things like that. He's pretty much just sharpening the skills that he already has. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
How cool is go ahead.
No, go ahead.
How cool is this for you? Because I know that you were right next to him during the recruiting process. You are at every single game. You've got the jersey on. You got JaMarr's dad on the hat. You are a very prideful dad. Your son is wearing 7 for the defending and reigning national champs and is probably considered the best player in college football. How cool is this for you?
Oh, it's real cool. I mean, like, this is a lanyard for me. I just wanted him to go to college, go to LSU, and be a major contributor on the team. And now he's like, one of the top players on the team. So in a home state, in a school right down the road, I couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, this is like a true blessing. This is a real blessing for us for me as a father.
What's been your discussions with like Coach O, Mickey Joseph, LSU on just things that are evolving and what could be?
We really haven't had that discussion, with Coach Allmaker. All I tell him is, look, he's going to be open. He might have 3 people on him, but he's going to be open. Okay, just throw it to him.
Hey, there you go, Miles.
They know that.
Hey, what about this, Jimmy? Can you take us back to even before last year to a time when LSU's offense was still viewed as being crap and couldn't do a quarter, couldn't develop a quarterback, all of these things? Did JaMarr ever let you know, like, when did he kind of know going into last season that they were going to be a problem for teams?
I want to say over the spring, last year, and he kept telling me, "Down, we doing this and we doing that, and then we're going to do this." I'm like, "Okay, I got to see that." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nobody. I didn't believe it.
but I went to practice. And I seen it. So I'm at practice and I'm seeing it. And I'm like, "Holy crap!" But I'm like, "Okay, let's wait till the game comes." Okay. Right. And when the game came, when the spring came, they didn't do much in the spring.
Yeah.
So I was like, "See, here we go. Here we go again." And then when the season starts, they cut loose. Coach O used to pass by me, and he'll just, T-Bob, you might know, he just gave you that look.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, he used to give me that look. I'm like, "Jimmy, you better watch out, Jimmy." And man, I love that guy. He did everything he told me he was going to do, man.
It's like that sideways glance where his head's kind of lowered. He's got that grin on his face, like, "Hey, I told you so, man." Yeah, kind of nudge you in the ribs.
Wait, Jimmy, back at that. So everything he told you in recruiting has happened with JaMarr, and probably more, huh?
Everything.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Everything he told me happened just like he told me.
Damn.
He said, "Jimmy," he said, "in order to do it, we need JaMarr." He said, "Man, we're going to do it." And he was making moves in the off season, right? And as he was making moves, he was telling me, "Look, Jimmy, this is what I did, and we're going to get this guy, and I want to get this guy, and we're going to do this." And he did all of those things, because now you got to trust me now. We took a chance.
Yeah, hell yeah, you did. Hell yeah, you did.
Absolutely, dude.
I mean, hell yeah, you did.
Sending a wide receiver
The best
to
wide
LSU.
receiver in the country to LSU at that time was a gamble.
Yeah, we took a chance, but he was so adamant. He was so adamant, and I'm like, this guy's been in the game for a while, so he has to know what he's talking about. And I'm like, "Hey, man, let's do it."
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's a great story.
Jimmy, and look, you did need him. Look at the Natty, who was the one that made everything work on the biggest stage, dude.
In the biggest games.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Everybody in the biggest games. JaMarr Chase was there. Jimmy, it's always great to catch up with you. We'll do it soon before the season starts.
All right, man. Appreciate you guys.
Always.
Thanks so much,
There
Jimmy.
he is, Jimmy Chase, checking in from Metairie this morning. That is a great testament to Ed Orgeron to have the best player on his team's father tell him about conversations that they've had 3 years ago, everything play out, and then along the way, Orgeron continue to tell him, "We've got your son's best interest at the top of their mind." That's a great testament for LSU football and their head coach. If you're a fan out there listening, you got to feel secure this morning.
I mean, think about it, right? Think about we always knew that Coach O was a recruiting expert. That was his strongest suit. And if he could sell JaMarr Chase and his family on the vision for LSU before the success, what happens when you now give that man the nuclear arsenal, right? Like, how good can he be when you give him the weapons and the momentum and the stats and the numbers and the rings that he can now point to? It becomes very exciting to think about.
JoJo Earl, Chris Hilton, Brian Thomas, you're next. OTB, rolling on.